this is how I got started in interview style, because I'm going to be coming up with questions and answering about how I got this far, what's next, and talking about my background. Cause I did change it up. First up, we got this, the Abby Lee, or the Dance Moms famous pyramid. Now this one, and then Maddie's at the bottom. Then we got JoJo. Then we have Nia. Then we have Kalani. Then we have Kendall, Mackenzie, and Maddie again at the top. Because Maddie was favored a lot, and also this is just the one I went with. Then we got this, which is the Siwa family, because I wanted like the Siwa family. And it's Siwa family plus Kylie and Abby, Jaden's girlfriend. Then we got Joffrey Ballet, because even though I'm not into ballet, like ballet's not my favorite style of dance, I'm definitely more into hip hop and performing. But if I do have the opportunity to go there, I will probably take it. Then we got Abby. This one is more like Abby, kind of, it's classic Abby. Like when she's kind of in a mood, you know. Then we got another Abby. This one just more like a photo Abby situation, like she's smiling. So not typical Abby. Then up here I put Gianna Martello's up here. Really like this picture. Then I put Gianna doing a tilt up here. And then I put Abby Lee Dance Company up. And then let me turn it that way. Right there. On the dresser I put this sign that said dance, 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 and it just matched my room because it's like pink and white and gold sort of colors, and it relates to me because I'm a dancer. And then we got another one, which is Gianna Martello's, but since Abby's in this one, I put Gianna Martello's there, and it's her like demonstrating and stuff. And Sam is in the room. My hair is a mess right now, but that is okay. We're just gonna let it be a little bit of a mess. So interview style. Oh, and before I get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications, because a lot of great content coming soon. Tomorrow you may or may not get a video. I'm gonna try, but we're gonna be gone all day. Like we're bombing the house, like bug bombing the house, which is stuff that doesn't explode, but when it does, it I don't fully understand it, but it's stuff that like basically like puts off a little smoke, like it puts off a little bit of like steam and stuff, and it gets rid of bugs, because we need this because our house has bugs in it. Like I feel like it's normal for like bugs to get in the, but this is like kind of a higher amount. We're constantly spraying them and stuff, so this is gonna help hopefully. But we can't be here during that, so we're like just gonna drive in the car like 2 hours away. Like we can't be here for at least 4 hours, so we're just gonna drive like 2 hours away, and then drive like 2 hours back. And we're not going anywhere. We might stop to get lunch, but other than that, like, I'm kind of not looking forward to it, because I'm like, at this point, I would rather just go to my brother's house and just go swimming and stuff and actually be doing, but just driving and not going anywhere. Like, I mean, lunch is nice, but like, yeah, but because of that reasoning, we're not going to be back until like, well, I wouldn't say we're going to be gone crazy long, but we don't know in between my dance schedule and this, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to film. I'm going to try, but if it interferes with dance, I kind of can't. Hey, Sam. Yeah, I dropped my spinner. You were telling. Come here. Yeah, he's cute. Hello. Yeah, you want a kiss? I love you. Sorry, Sam wants, he wants to be the center of attention for just a second. Here, I'll give you a sec. Okay. Here, I'm kind of get him distracted for a second by. Okay, I got him playing with the toy. Well, actually, I'm letting him lay in the dance hammock because he can jump out of it easily, and also on top of it, it kind of keeps him, like, he likes laying in it and stuff, because he likes the fact that it kind of moves slowly and stuff. And don't worry, he's perfectly fine, and I'm keeping an eye on him. But so the first question is how it all started, social media, my career, all. So actually, I would say I really loved dance, what happened was, I always dreamed of doing social media, since I was 5. I remember being 5 years old, and my parents, my dad had this one tablet, we still have it, and what happened was that, he finally, for once, up to that point, I knew about social media and YouTube. Well, I knew about YouTube, but it was never anything, I never really knew what was on it or anything, because, me and my dad would, watch YouTube sometimes and, watch cartoons and stuff. But there was one day he I don't remember exactly what happened, but this one day he if you want, you can watch YouTube, or something happened, and I ended up watching YouTube. And I watched YouTube for most of the day, and by the end of it, I'm I want to do YouTube. And I asked my parents if I could, and that immediately got shut down. It was that immediately, and it wasn't, anything about them not wanting to support me or anything. That never played into it. It's just that me being 5 at the time, me being 5 and knowing, social media is dangerous, and, doing that, there's information that you don't want to put out there. There's a lot that I don't put out there. I don't put out my last name. I don't put out, my address or anything. The only thing even close to that I put out is that I'm from America, and and I say that because I did get a couple DMs at first about, you seem like you're from America, in all of your videos, and, but other than that, and I make it clear every time, I'm not giving you my address or anything, but I will say I'm from America. So, there's a lot that, I don't put out, obviously. And it came down to and so I continuously begged them from that day on up till they finally I would say up until about age 10. And then I kind of went like, it's never gonna happen, like, there's no point in it, so like 5 years of begging. And then I kind of didn't beg for a while, and then like, I just didn't beg for like a year, and then when I was 11, oh, he's gone to sleep. But when I was 11 and almost 12, Bella came down for like the summer, and like she did social media, and by this point I knew what social media was, not just YouTube. And she talked about like what happened was how she did it. I actually filmed a couple of videos for her. I didn't film them. I I was the camera person for some of them, and you could kind of see my fingertips and in them, but nothing big. And then that way she could have kind of a personal camera person. And that point I begged my parents even more, and it was still no. But somewhere around that point, I want to say, actually, maybe even, no, I would say like after 12, like just turned 12 situation. My sister had went shopping with Bella's sister, like took her out shopping, get some new clothes and stuff. And I think it was for like back to school or something. Yeah. And then what happened was that day she brought up something about a Justice fashion show and how I was signed up, but like I didn't have to do it, and I wanted to do it so badly, and so I went up there, brought it up to my mom. My sister talked to my mom about it, and my mom told me, even Dad gets back, we'll talk about it, because my dad was gone that day for a little while. Like, I think he was grocery shopping, or like, oh wait, I think he was visiting my brother or his brother, or to be honest, I forget. And my dad got back, and I brought it up to him, and then him and my mom talked about it, and they went like, if you want to do this, then we'll let you. And I got over the top excited, and that's when I actually did my first thing for fashion and stuff. I'm not into modeling too much, because I definitely want to go more where JoJo is, the acting, art, like acting, singing, dancing, sort of like performing area / social media influencer. And what ended up happening was that it was very, very interesting, and I did it that week. And when we got there, it was really cool, because we got there, and like, then they went like, yeah, I'm like, okay, you're here for a fashion show, okay. Then they told me and Bella's sister both to go around and pick out 2 outfits, any outfits of our choice. And me being me, I went full-blown like unicorn rainbow. And I chose this really nice like rainbow skirt, and then this pink skirt. Or both of them were like the exact same, just the colors were different. And then I chose like 2 different like unicorn shirts or something. And then they like assigned us like dressing rooms, which was cool. Like they were just the normal like dressing rooms that like you can try on clothes and stuff. But what happened was that what ended up happening was that all of a sudden, and some woman there whose grandkid was doing the fashion show or something, and like her kid came up with like shoes and stuff, and then we found out we could pick out shoes, and then I like picked out like these rainbow flip-flops. I picked out another pair, but I ended up wearing the rainbow one for both looks because they worked well. And then like what happened was that then and like I did it, and like no one really, like none of my family got to see, only my husband, due to the fact that we ended up last minute being switched to like the like 11:15 one, or like 11:45 instead of 12:45 or like. But I remember doing that and like really just having fun with it. And from that point, what ended up happening was actually right after that point, when like the next summer that Bella came down, I begged my parents, like begged them to let me be in one of her videos, and they said yes. So like we filmed, I think it was like I forget what it was, but we filmed a couple of videos that were fun, and like that was like a big moment for me, and like that was a big moment, and it really is what kind of played into it. And Bella really does deserve a lot of credit, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be doing this physically, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. And like, but what happened was then, I feel like I never really did any social media stuff afterwards, nothing. And at some point, I did do a dance class, like 11, almost 12. And what happened was, it was a lot of fun doing it, like, but it was a really small dance class at a civic center. And when I was little, I always wanted to do gymnastics. I have on wheelchair brain, so it's recommended not to, but I still can. But I'm glad, like, back then, I absolutely hated that my mom wouldn't let me do gymnastics. And now, I'm like, thank you so much. Because at this point, what happened was then, and I took my first dance class, and this happened before the fashion show, and like, Sam, do you need some help there, baby? I'm gonna help you really bad. Nice and see that. He needed help because as he couldn't get his paw in, so like his paw was kind of hanging out. Don't worry, he's fine. I just tucked his little paw in, got him like tucked in really nice, and now he's just looking around like he can get out whenever he wants to. Just so you know, like he can jump out. Like he's done it quite a few times before. So like then, like my first dance class, I really loved it. Like we started with ballet. Like that morning, when I found out I was doing a dance class, I was so excited, and then what happened was, but I was so annoyed because I had to wait like a whole week, like at this point almost 2 weeks. It's because our teacher had a miscarriage like the next week, and so class was canceled. But what happened was that we ended up like it was the morning of the dance class, and this was a homeschooler dance class because it was at like 9, like 10. No, I think it was 11:15 to like 12 something. Like it was an hour long, and I was so excited. And then we like left, and then we got there, and we started off with like kind of a warm up and like stretch situation, which I enjoyed. I was terrible at it, but I enjoyed it. And then we moved to ballet, and I'm like, cause ballet's never been my most favorite thing ever. And then we moved on to tap, which I was doing in my bare feet, so it like didn't make any noise. because I didn't have any shoes or anything, like, and then what ended up happening was from that point, like, then we moved on to, like, I think we did some jumps and turns, and then we did, like, modern jazz or something. And I just knew, like, I knew dance was something I wanted to do. And from that day on, like, I feel like I continued doing that. We did that for, like, 6 months. And then afterwards, we stopped for a little bit. And throughout that entire stopping point, I begged. I mean, I begged my parents, like, like, to find a place that I could dance and start dancing, and so much just kind of, it never went anywhere or anything. Then I'm gonna fast forward now because nothing happened for a while. So like pretty much like the day that we moved back in down here, cause this was all at like when we were living with my sister. What happened was, that I was on FaceTime with Bella, and she was talking about her channel and stuff, and like, I got really jealous. Like, I got really jealous. I'm not a jealous person. I'm definitely not a jealous person at all. Like, if someone gets something that I dream of, I'm happy for them and I let it go. But this one time I couldn't because of how badly I wanted it. So I went and asked my parents. I asked my dad, and then he said yes, and then I'm like practically crying with excitement. And then we went and asked my mom. And then we got her to say yes, and then like I filmed, like literally what happened was I filmed my first video, and then I FaceTimed Bella back, like, and things just kind of went up from there. Like at that point, when it first started, I feel like airplane. When it first started, and my parents definitely, I feel like they thought, oh, this won't be a long time thing. My dad kind of knew it would be. My mom was like, oh, she'll like do it for like maybe a few days, and then someone will dislike a video or say or comment something mean or something, and then she'll quit. And then it's all just gonna blow up. And then when it didn't, I feel like after like the first, like I first started, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my channel. I knew I dreamed of it, but I kind of wanted to come up with for my channel. And then on literally my third day of doing it, so I started on the 26th, I feel like, yeah, 26th. So like the 29th, I came up with a YouTube character, Beans. Beans was built to be kind of weird, kind of known to like have this really dark makeup look, and like I'd be really dirty, like, and I don't mean that in a like inappropriate way. I mean like actually like look like she had dirt on her and like mud and like being really weird, and like I just kind of had an idea. And what happened was that at that point, like Bella really liked the character. Like Bella commented on my channel, a couple of times, like, please give us more Beans, and the name Beans was literally, I was trying to think of like a name for this YouTube character, and I went like, what's one of the first like things that come to mind that's weird and I don't actually like. I kind of want like to go off like a food or something, and I don't like beans. Like, I'm not a vegetable person. Not really a fruit person either. Or like, I eat my baby food prunes with apples. It's not, that sounds gross because it's baby food, but it's actually pretty good. And the, like strawberry kiwi juice, juice. So like that's some sort of fruit, but like then what happened was that like I just continued doing beans and like having fun with it, and then like just posting random videos that like some of them weren't even that good. And then what happened from that point was, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. After like a little while, my mom started, and like she, like eventually I got my, like after a while she like kind of started like being like, maybe this might work out, like I don't know, like she kind of just kept saying like, oh, this will, like thinking you could tell like, oh, this will be done by tomorrow, or like, oh, and then what happened was eventually after a very long time, someone disliked a video of mine. And in a way, I wasn't very far on social media, and like I was thankful for like my 3 subscribers and stuff, but like I feel like that's when my mom started realizing that maybe this is gonna work out, because I handled it like, yes, part of me was a little bit sad, because it's like the first dislike is always like a sad moment, but like at that point I handled it so well. I literally like acted like nothing happened. And I just kept going, and I extended to, I think, yeah, the next platform that I extended to was TikTok. And then I extended to, then I eventually extended to Likey, and then I extended to Instagram, and kind of got where I am now. Now with Likey, I was actually constantly reading nice comments, and people were really like loving me on Likey, and I feel like that was something that like I might have to like do again, because I was really popular on Likey. Like people were liking it, like people were like, I was getting comments like, how do you edit your videos, and I'm like, I'm the person that knows nothing about editing, and I just kind of got to where I am today, and recently I figured out kind of what happened was, I feel like recently I got into where I kind of know what I want to do in my social media life, and I want to show you like so many different parts of me and stuff. So yeah, this is an interview style like thing, and right now I might have music coming out. I'm really iffy on if I should do it, because right now like I feel like after like I definitely made a lot of friends doing this, like, or just dancing in general. Like I made 2 friends from doing the worldwide, and I'm gonna move on to special shout outs to people who actually made this happen and stuff. So Bella definitely gets a shout out for sure. or because if it weren't for Bella doing social media and me being really jealous of that, I wouldn't be here right now. And I'm not a jealous person, but in that moment I was. So Bella gets the biggest shout out possible. Now, the next person I got shout out is I have to definitely shout out JoJo Siwa, and JoJo Siwa is actually a part of why I started dancing because like she definitely played a part into it, and like her positive attitude and stuff just plays a part in. And then I also got to shout out the show Dance Moms, and then obviously Abby Lee Miller and Gianna Martello, and my first dance teacher, because JoJo, Abby Lee Miller, Gianna Martello, Dance Moms, and everyone that was on Dance Moms, even if it was only for one episode or something, then pretty much is why I started dancing. And then that's kind of the shout out that I have to give. But I am gonna see if about doing music, I don't know, but I'm iffy because Eva and me were working on one, and then like situations happen. Nothing bad actually, only just one little situation, but we're moving on better than ever.